Three massive reports around three guys have just come out, and it has massive implications for what the Cincinnati Bengals could do. And the Cincinnati Bengals have been mentioned for each of these players. Two of them I have already talked about. One of them I talk about a lot because he's in our division. Before I jump into all of these reports, and a lot of them are probably going to make you feel some type of way. Before I jump in, I just want to thank you. We reached 500 subscribers on the Bengals Digest channel. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I actually appreciate it so much. I love that we're building a community. I love that you guys are commenting, asking questions. You guys are replying to comments, answering those questions, and having a conversation. So I really appreciate it a lot. I'm trying to build, like I've said, a community of Houday Nation. But 90% of you are not subscribed right now, so do me, please, a huge favor. Subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel if you love the Bengals as much as I do. We'll be talking about the Bengals every single day, even during the off season. We'll be talking about the Bengals every single day, and the goal is before February is over, we'll reach that 1,000 mark. We've gone to 500 in a matter of feels like week, 2 weeks. That's what it felt like. It's probably not that, but that's what it felt like. So let's get to 1,000 subs by the end of February, and I appreciate it more than you guys know. But let's jump right into it. First guy I want to talk about is a guy who is a free agent, offensive guard Will Fries from obviously the Colts. I've talked about him before in my long video about offensive guards where I got pretty passionate. I didn't know I could get that passionate about offensive guards. But just to go over again, Will Fries, he is 26 years old, 6'6", 305 pounds. He is the second rated offensive guard in free agency. This season, his PFF grade overall, 86.9. That's fourth among all guards, so he's one of the best guards overall. Pass blocking, 74.9, 18th among all guards this last season. And run block, 84.9, 5th among all guards. So this guy is one of the best guards in the league, and this is where the report is coming from. Cincinnati Bengals on Sports Illustrated. Sorry, you can go read that report. Cincinnati Bengals free agency preview: rapidly ascending Fries has become one of the top guards in the league. Yes, I think this is the guy where we should go after. Trey Smith and Will Fries are the two main guys I want to see us at least try to go after. Both of them are going to be a hefty amount because they are the top guards in the league. And guards get paid a lot because they protect the guy that is actually paid the most, the quarterback. But Will Fries is one of the best guards in the league, and this would be a huge addition for the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, the guards we had last season, Cordell Volson and Alex Cappa, were one of the two worst guards statistically in the league last year. Alex Cappa being the worst guard in the league, and then Volson being the third worst guard in the league. So the guard is definitely a position that is much needed. Adding Will Fries to that offensive line, and then go drafting a guy. Let's say like my mock draft video yesterday, let's say we draft either Joshua Gray, Clay Webb, who I really, really like, or Tate Ratledge. Those are guys I talked about. Our offensive line, left tackle, Orlando Brown Jr., left guard, Clay Webb, Joshua Gray, Tate Ratledge, whatever way they want to go. Ted Karras as a center. Offensive guard, right guard, Will Fries. Right tackle, Amarius Mims. I think that's a solid offensive line, and the one that would be solid for the foreseeable future in Cincinnati, and then maybe even keep Volson. He would be a nice backup because you need depth, obviously, in the offensive line. Keep Volson, keep Cody Ford, and keep Trent Brown, who we signed last offseason from the Patriots. I think that would be a solid depth group behind the starters, Orlando Brown Jr., one of the three guys I mentioned, Joshua Gray, Clay Webb, Tate Ratledge, Ted Karras, Will Fries, and Amarius Mims. I think that would be a pretty solid offensive line. But to go to probably, since the thumbnail includes these two guys, you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. One player requested a trade, and the other player got told by his team that they were trading him immediately, and we're going to be seeking trades immediately. Let's talk about the one that makes the more sense out of the two, wide receiver Cooper Kupp. I've already talked about this before, but I'm talking about it again because now it actually is a possibility. The Los Angeles Rams told Cooper Kupp they are looking for trades immediately, which kind of sucks. Cooper Kupp wanted to end his career in LA, so I feel bad for him. But if that means he's going to help Cincinnati, I would be fine with that. This season, Cooper Kupp, an injured riddled season again. 67 receptions, 710 yards with 6 touchdowns, averaging 10.6 yards per catch. He's 31 years old, so he's getting up there in age. But this all comes down to this isn't just me saying that Cincinnati's a target. This is actually Daniel. Oh, here we go. Here's the report. National analyst believes Bengals are good fit for Rams star Cooper Kupp. Here it is. Dan Orlovsky, my favorite NFL analyst. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. If you don't, then I'm surprised. But look, right at the very top, Bengals. He thinks the Bengals are probably the best fit for Cooper Kupp. And I'm not going to say I disagree or agree. I think it would be a huge pickup for Cincinnati. I think it would be a lot of help. I think a lot of the media is saying if we can't re-sign T. Higgins, right? And like I had a whole video talking about contracts, and you guys yelled at me about cap space and salary and all that stuff, and I know about that stuff. I was just giving rough estimations. It's going to be hard to re-sign T. Higgins. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows it's going to be a lot of money. If we don't re-sign T. Higgins, we have a massive hole in the wide receiver room, right? Our wide receivers would be Jamar Chase and Andre Yoshavash, and that's where it would end because Jermaine Burton is likely not going to be on the team next season. Maybe not. I don't know. Not saying that's confirmed or anything. I just don't know. But I will say this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not on the team anyways. If he's not on the team next year. Considering our GM said he's done absolutely nothing to earn a roster spot for next season. So if we lose T. Higgins, we are in desperate need of a wide receiver. And Cooper Kupp is not the worst option, right? The Cincinnati Bengals, we have the option to franchise tag T, right? But he doesn't want to play for the Cincinnati Bengals anymore, so we franchise tag him. And then we trade him. Trade him to the Rams for Cooper Kupp. And I wouldn't personally, if I was Duke Tobin, if the Rams called me and were like, I'm willing to give you Cooper Kupp for T. Higgins, I'd be like, no, you're crazy. I would need a pick, maybe 2, or a pick, and the Rams would take some of his contract. They would be paying some of his contract because he does have a little bit of a hefty contract. So I would say, okay, fine, I'll trade you T. Higgins, just T. Higgins, Cincinnati. The Rams just get T. Higgins, but the Bengals get Cooper Kupp, their second-round pick, and a 6th or 7th-round pick, or just the second-round pick and Rams pay partial of the contract. I would be open to that trade, but why not have all 3? Why not sign T. Higgins and still go trade for Cooper Kupp? Whatever that looks like. I know I might be dreaming, but imagine, right? We would have 2 Triple Crown winners, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, and Cooper Kupp would be our wide receiver 3. Imagine that. Cooper Kupp as a wide receiver 3. Our offensive firepower, if that were to actually come true, would be absolutely insane. Jamar Chase, wide receiver 1. T. Higgins, wide receiver 2. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 3 / Andre Yoshavash, wide receiver 3. That's the deadliest wide receiver room in the NFL. 100%. 100%. I know it's going to take a lot, and a lot of people are going to be in comments yelling at me, oh, we would never do that. It's so stupid. That's so stupid. It's football. It's sports. It's supposed to be fun. I'm having fun talking about that. You cannot tell me you're not having fun just thinking about what Joe Burrow would be able to do with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Cooper Kupp, and Andre Yoshavash. And imagine if we re-sign Mike Gesicki. You telling me that's I'm not absolutely crazy? It's just fun. It's fun to talk about. The more realistic side is that if we don't sign T, franchise tag him and trade him to the Rams for Cooper Kupp with some picks, which I would be not. I would rather, out of the 2, I would rather have T. Higgins, right? But I would rather have both. I'm just saying, it's not too extremely far-fetched. That's all I'm going to say. It's not too far-fetched. Cincinnati, if there's a will, there's a way. And what's his name? Will. I'm just throwing it out there. There's a will. So there's got to be a way to have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Cooper Kupp on the exact same team. But jumping forward, this one is the absolutely crazy one. A rival who has been a thorn in the Bengals' side the whole time he's ever been in the league has requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns, the other Ohio team. That team up north, which feels weird as a Buckeye saying that because that's mentioning. Anyways, that team up north, the Cleveland Browns, their star player, defensive edge, Myles Garrett, has requested a trade the Browns have basically come out and saying, yeah, I don't care what you say, Myles Garrett, we're not trading you. And the GM said, I'm not putting any interest in any trade that I receive. But Myles Garrett wants out of Cleveland. He said he doesn't just want to get paid a lot of money. He wants to be competing for a Super Bowl every single year. He wants to win a Super Bowl, and he doesn't feel that Cleveland is the spot that will allow him to compete for a Super Bowl, which I don't blame him. But just going over his 2024 stats, right? 40 solo tackles, 14 sacks, second behind Cincinnati Bengals Trey Hendrickson, and 3 forced fumbles. He has 17 all-time sacks against Cincinnati, which is third most. First most is Cam Hayward, who has played Cincinnati Bengals far longer than Myles Garrett has, and then second is TJ Watt. But Myles Garrett has been the biggest thorn in Cincinnati's side. Before this season, he was 8-2 against Cincinnati in his career. This season, obviously, after being now 8-4 because we swept them this year, but he was 8-2 against Cincinnati. He has been a thorn in Cincinnati's side the entire time he's been a Brown. So even if we don't get him, right, I want him out of the AFC North. I don't want to play him twice a year. Put him in the NFC. I'm fine with that. Make him go somewhere else. I'm fine with that. I would be even fine if he goes to another AFC team that I only see once every 4 years or maybe in the playoffs. Just not the AFC North unless it's the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm fine with that, right? Definitely not an AFC North team. I don't think, since he's not a free agent, they would trade him. I don't think the Browns would even consider an AFC North team unless the Bengals come at them with a crazy trade, offer like T. Higgins and a first-round pick or something. But look, I'm not even making this up either, right? Look, this is Dan Orlovsky talking about Cooper Kupp, Bengals, right? This was posted right after Myles Garrett requested a trade. That's us, bro. Myles Garrett, top potential landing spots, right? I can't read that name. Tyler Sullivan, I think it is. CBS Sports. Detroit Lions, Washington Commanders. The Raiders doesn't make sense because they're not going to compete for a Super Bowl anytime soon. Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. I think there's 3 teams that will be competing for a Super Bowl in the foreseeable future. Obviously, Detroit, Washington, and Cincinnati. Maybe New England, if they can figure out how to build around Drake May. They could be. The Raiders, I don't see unless they go get like Shador this year, maybe, and he pans out to be actually a really good prospect and build around him. Shador Sanders and Brock Bowers, go get a wide receiver. You already got your defense kind of with Max Crosby. Then if you add Myles Garrett to that situation, imagine that. Max Crosby and Myles Garrett. Oh, I would be very happy the Raiders would not be in my division. But like, this is insane to me. I don't even know what we would have to give up to get Myles Garrett. Probably T. Higgins and 2 first-round picks, probably, for them to even consider it. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm not saying he wouldn't be worth it. It's definitely interesting to think about Myles Garrett in the stripes. I would love to see Myles Garrett in the stripes. The fact that we're even listed as a potential landing spot is insane to me. I don't think they would even consider keeping him in the division. Like, maybe if it was a free agent. But, I mean, Joe Burrow and Myles Garrett have a pretty close relationship outside of football during the offseason. So maybe he does want to come to Cincinnati. I don't know. I don't know the dude personally. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you guys know what the reports say. You guys yell at me all the time saying I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just letting you guys know what the reports say. I just say what the reports say. I am the vessel giving out information. But I'm being weird this episode. I'm sorry. Going over it again, I think we should go after offensive guard Will Fries from the Colts. Once again, PFF grade overall, 86.9, fourth among all guards. Pass block, 74.9, 18th among all guards. Run block, 84.9, fifth among guards. I think it would be a huge asset to the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line, and I think he would make our offensive line one of the better offensive lines in the NFL as soon as he signs across that dotted line. And don't count out Cooper Kupp being a Cincinnati Bengal in 2025. I don't think it's out of the question. I think actually we're one of the betting favorites to land Cooper Kupp in 2025. We're like plus 500 to land Cooper Kupp right now. one of the highest bet team to land Cooper Kupp is the Cincinnati Bengals. So don't think it's completely out of the ordinary. This completely out of the ordinary, I think. But Luka just got traded to the freaking Lakers. I know I'm not the biggest basketball guy, but I know that's insane. That's basically Myles Garrett going to the Bengals. If the Dallas Mavericks are willing to trade Luka Doncic to the Lakers for AD, why wouldn't the Browns be able to trade Myles Garrett to the Bengals for Sam Hubbard? Imagine this, right? You send us Myles Garrett. We'll give you Sam Hubbard, replace Myles Garrett. Alex Kappa, you get a guard. Sheldon Rankins, defensive tackle, get a tackle. Defensive tackle. And then Zach Moss, you get a backup to Nick Chubb if he's ever going to please play again, Nick Chubb. I love watching Nick Chubb. He's such a good he's a great guy and I love watching him. But anyways, I think that's not a bad trade. Obviously, I'm joking, but crazier things have happened. Like the Dallas Mavericks trading away Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for AD. I'm just saying crazier things have happened. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video has been a little bit crazy, but these are the reports that are coming out. Like literally today, Cooper Kupp potentially to the Bengals. Myles Garrett, maybe. Will Fries. Come be a Bengal. We have the chance to go get Will Fries for just signing him as a free agent. Would have to trade with Cooper Kupp and the Rams and the Browns to get Myles Garrett and Cooper Kupp. But don't count on Cooper Kupp being a Bengal in 2025. That's all I want to say. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Only 9, almost 10% of you now, where it's getting better, are subscribed to the Bengals Digest channel watching right now. So please do me a favor, huge favor, and subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel if you love the Bengals as much as I do. Share it with your friends because watching football and talking about football is always better with friends, especially the Cincinnati Bengals. And once again, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of February. I know we can do it, and I appreciate it more than you know. But comment down below on how realistic you actually think any of these guys landing in Cincinnati is. I know it's been a crazy report day. It's been a crazy video. But let me know how you feel about all 3 of these guys being in the stripes next season. I'll see you next time. I'm Carson Lokey for the Bengals Digest channel. See you next time.